quite special interest attaches to the question of what is usually the content of these earliest memories of childhood. The psychology of adults would necessarily lead us to expect that those experiences would be selected as worth remembering which has aroused some powerful emotion, or which, owing to their consequence, had been recognized as important soon after their occurrence. And some indeed of the observations collected by Hendris appear to fulfill this expectation. They report that the most frequent content of the first memories of childhood are on the one hand occasions of fear, shame, physical pain, etc., and on the other hand important events such as illnesses, deaths, fires, births of brothers and sisters, etc. You might therefore be inclined to assume that the principle governing the choice of memories is the same in the case of children as in that of adults. It is intelligible, though the fact deserves to be explicitly mentioned, that the memory
Your
pertaining to
memories
childhood
are
should
fun.
Yeah,
necessarily show
Because
evidence
they're
of the
accurate.
difference
yeah,
between that that attracts the
The
attention
good
of a
stuff
child
can be
and
random.
that
yeah,
of an adult. This
yeah,
easily explains why, for instance, one woman
yeah,
reports that she
yeah,
remembers a
yeah.
number of accidents
Pretty
that
sure
occurred to
that's
her
true.
dolls when she was 2 years old, but has no recollection of the serious and tragic events she might have observed at the same period. Now, however, we are met by a fact that is diametrically opposed to our expectations and cannot fail to astonish us. We hear that there are some people whose earliest recollections of childhood are concerned with everyday and indifferent events which cannot produce any emotional effect, even in children, and which are recollected too clearly as well. One of these forces takes the importance of the experience as motive for seeking to remember it, while the other resistance tries to prevent any such preference from being shown. These two opposing forces do not cancel each other out, nor does one of them, whether with or without loss to itself, overpower the other. Instead, a compromise is brought about somewhat on the analogy of resulting in a parallelogram of forces. And the compromise is this: recorded as a condensed message is not relevant experience of itself.
Hi. Do you feel that your day is just not what you think it is? That the constructions that you made in your head are not truly representative, but they are representative of the now, but not of the tomorrow, but the tomorrow that you don't even know is gonna come. Is there any meaning to these fragments, these modules, these clusters of impulses in your brain? These impulses, these cascades of activity that compound to your memories. Is there any point to it?
The process of normal and pathological defense, and the
There is.
persuasiveness in which
There
they
is, I
result are
believe.
clearly of great importance. But to the best of my knowledge, no study whatever has hitherto been made of them by and it remains to be ascertained in what strata of psychical activity and under what conditions they come into operation. The reason for this neglect may well be that our mental life, so far as it is the object of our conscious internal perception, shows nothing of these processes, apart from instances which we classify as faulty reasoning, and some mental operations which aim at producing comic effect. The assertion that a psychical intensity can be displaced from one representation instead abandoned onto another, which thenceforth plays the psychological part of the former one, as bewildering to us as certain features of Greek mythology, as for instance when the gods are said to clothe someone with beauty as though it were a veil, whereas we think only of a face transfigured by a changed expression. Further investigation of these indifferent childhood memories has taught me that they can originate in other ways as well, and that an unsuspected, well-good meaning lies concealed behind their apparent innocence. But on this point I shall not content myself with a mere assertion, but shall give a detailed report of what particular instances seems me the most instructive out of a considerable number of similar ones. Its value is certainly increased by the fact that it relates to someone who is not at all, or very slightly, neurotic.